So tonight's topic, which if you guys want to follow along, we have a document that we just put in the chat. We're talking about being the energy that you want to attract. So yeah,
Exactly.
let's get into it.
Yeah, I feel like energy is everything. The way you move through the world is what you get in return. Like what you put in is what you get out. So if you're walking through life feeling grumpy, feeling stressed out, feeling all kinds of negative vibes, that's what's going to happen. And when you start taking audit of that, like when you notice the days that you're funky and the world is funky, you're like, so this somehow is tied together. And the days that you're just like high on life and everything is great, things seem to line up and people are nice and you get let into gaps in traffic and things just start to align a little bit better. So taking responsibility for your energy, I think, is huge.
Yeah, I like your opening reflection on here too. If my energy was a magnet, what would it be attracting today? And I think that's a good way to put it, of being aware of the fact that we're able to control our outside environment. Even though I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't have that power, you definitely do. Perspective is a big part of that, of being able to look at different situations, because you could have two people have the same situation and one person sees it in a positive way and another person sees it in a negative way. And that's exactly what your environment's going to be. I forget the quote, but it's whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Along the same lines, but it's interesting if you think about it from like the mindset and the behaviors and your emotions, thinking about it from each different angle and really being aware of the energy you're emitting out there. And then seeing even just, I don't know if anyone has actually noticed this in their own life of going through a day, especially just like the way you start a day. If you start a day feeling, oh, today's going to be a great day, even if you might not necessarily believe that, but you just put it out there and you like continuously tell yourself it's going to be a good day, it's nine times out of 10 going to be a really good day because you set that intention.
Agreed. Yeah, because you can't predict what the day's going to be like. But starting the day off, okay, today's going to be a fantastic day. I'm going to be super productive. I have tons of energy. All of that sets your brain up to start to notice the good things, start to like that. I forget what it's called, cognitive bias, I think. So if you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted. Today's going to be such a crappy day. I'm probably going to get a headache. And you just start predicting all these things that are just going to be crappy. And then you're going to be tired because you already told yourself you're going to be tired. And your mind is just going to be like, okay, so this chick wants to be in a bad mood. So we might as well just find all the things that are going to make sure that she's in a bad mood
Mm.
versus setting your tone the other way where it's today's gonna be a fantastic day, everything's gonna align for me, the world is working for me, the universe is bringing things to me, and all of a sudden you're like, you might not even notice that it was a fantastic day because we only notice the shitty things generally. So you might not even notice how smooth the day was unless you do like journaling or reflection work where you can be like, dang, today was pretty sweet. Like I got that parking spot right at the front. It rained once I got in the car. Like all these things, all of a sudden you're like, okay, this day shaped up to be pretty sweet. And it's because you set that starting point.
So we can get into the discussion points. So what do you think being the energy really means?
I'm interested to hear what people think because it's not faking it. You don't want to fake the funk because your body knows. Your like actual consciousness knows if you're faking it.
I think it's being, let's see, I feel like I did this week. I have a new client that I'm working with, and we're in preliminaries with our business relationship. But the insecure part of me wanted to be the showy real estate agent. But then I had to reel myself back in and be like, this person does not want that performative persona, which is, I feel like for me, it's very easy to fall into that when I don't know someone because I want to put my best foot forward. So once I think it was probably like 15 minutes into our conversation because we talked for about an hour. They want to get into Airbnb, but all they know are long-term rentals and short-term, it's like a totally different thing. So rather than me trying to sell them on it, it's like I don't really need to sell them on the concept. I just need to be myself. Because that's why people work with me for my knowledge, but they stay because of my personal experience and testimony to the model itself. And it took all the pressure off of it. So I feel like being the energy is being your authentic version.
A
Yeah,
hundred
I dig
percent.
it.
I think when you even just hearing you talk about that, it's easy to recognize that in your line of work specifically, people are going to want to work with you because of the energy that you're putting out there. And I think it
Mhm.
goes two ways. Like, I know you're the type of person that if somebody doesn't match your energy, you're not going to take them on as a client because you know that's not what's best for you.
It's not good chemistry.
Totally.
And it's if the chemistry is not there, it's not going to work. And I'm a huge proponent to that. I feel like Jackie, Ramon, and I have talked at lengths with working with people, or even down to just friendships in general, like people that we know mutually and stuff. It's, yeah, like, you're a great person. I don't think that the business relationship is there, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And if you think about the putting on a persona and the amount of energy that takes to uphold that shield or whatever, because it really is like a shield, right? To protect
The
you from
front,
people judging who you are. And the amount of energy that takes, it gets draining. And therefore, you just, that at some point is going to start showing up, that drained energy, that exhausted, that I'm doing too much energy. And then at some point that bubble's gonna burst. And now it's who the hell's this guy? That's not who
yeah,
I met.
I like the
Yeah.
questions that you have, Monica, under talking about being the energy. When I see the question, what kind of people do you want around you? And then the next question, what opportunities do you want to attract? I'm thinking about that from my own perspective, and I feel like sometimes there's opportunities that I've wanted to attract that have led me to people that it's not that I don't necessarily want them around me, it's that and this is the thing too. I feel like you can't necessarily find other people that are going to perfectly fit what you're looking for. I feel like everybody has bits and pieces of what they bring to your life, but sometimes it can be hard because, for example, let's say you want to advance in like career wise or like work wise, and you're like, okay, I want to attract myself around people that are closer to where I want to be in that regard, but maybe they're not necessarily where you want to be health wise. And then it's a conflict of interest, I think that's where boundaries come in too. But I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that too, of this concept of being the energy that you want to attract, but sometimes where you're trying to go, it might not lead you exactly to the person that you were hoping to get to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I feel like it's allowing for grace, right? If you are trying to get somewhere, let's say, like you said, career wise, and the person aligns with you there, but they don't necessarily align with you for other aspects like health or whatever, or family or any other aspect of life, you just
Hmm.
take what you can. Because if you flip it and someone thinks Jackie's really great at discipline, she's super healthy, but maybe you're not where they want to be, like in a career sense, they're not
Hmm.
going to throw you out because you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like you still have lots to gain from being in
Yeah.
your presence. And so having that same grace for someone of, okay, so I have set my expectations that this person can bring me where I want to be, or I can get on the same page with them energetically on this topic, but we don't align on the other ones, and that's cool. And it's the same thing and especially if that person's honest about the things that they're short in. I'm not going to sit here and try to give you guys like losing weight tips because I can't lose weight to save my life. Come over here eating salads every day and is I'm on a journey, but you wouldn't take advice on me about that. So that doesn't mean you toss me out as a human being. You can if you want to, but I'm honest about it and I'm upfront. And so having those like expectations set out for you where the person's like, yo, I'm killer at XYZ. And you're like, yeah, I can see that you're moving that way. And they're like, but don't come to me for whatever the heck else. And they're not pretending to be someone they're not, which is why I think having that, like removing that exterior fakeness allows you to connect with the people who can see you for who you are. Like if you put on too much, you're going to attract the wrong people. You're going to attract the people who expect that from you all of the time. And that's
Hmm.
not who you are. So you're going to inevitably disappoint them. So showing up and being honest about this is where I'm at right now and I'm happy to connect with you. People respect that aspect versus showing up and trying to be something that you're not and then inevitably disappointing them.
Thinking about it too, if you know what your priorities are, you can also set the boundaries that matter most to you. Because I've also been on the other side of having the opportunity to get closer to people that are further along and like where I want to be, but cross a line of what I'm interested in. Like maybe they like
Mhm.
all they care about is drinking, or they talk about cheating on their wife, or like things like that where you're like, okay, that's a little bit too much. That really doesn't align. Versus like
Totally.
the other version, you could look at it to where they can help me in the work aspect of things, and maybe I can help them in the health aspect of things, type of it's like a give and take versus just take relationship.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
still having integrity as the core, right? If that person that, like the person who's just like not being a good human being and cheating on their wife or whatever, like integrity is not really on the top of their list. So maybe that person just doesn't align with you because integrity is one of your top priorities. And showing up that way, those people like don't want to be around you. You just start realizing like the people who want to be negative or do shady things, they're just like they don't want to be around you because they don't feel safe to be themselves. And that's a-okay with me.
Cool. Yeah. We can get into the energy audit.
Yeah, I love me an audit. I love a little self-assessment and just being honest about where you are and how you're showing up and also the things around you that are affecting you because it's not as much as we are in control of our choices and how we move through life, like things are still happening around us. And sometimes we allow ourselves, and that's where our responsibility can come in, to be in spaces that don't align with the energy we want to have. Like we are out of obligation, like family, long-term friends, coworkers, whatever it is, like you can find yourself in environments that you're just like, I just feel like shit. I feel tired. I feel drained. I don't feel like myself. I feel like I'm constantly having to perform whatever aspects of your energy that you don't want to continue aligning yourself with. You can find yourself in environments that bring that out in you and taking audit of like, how can I minimize my time over there? Or how can I not contribute to what's happening over there? If you feel crappy from having conversations about your career with your family, stop having those conversations. You're not under any obligation to continue doing those things. But we seek validation, just taking audit and recognizing like, why am I allowing this? Why do I keep doing that? Why do I find myself in these places? Why am I doing the things that make me tired? Whatever it is, just getting to the root of the things so that you can design your day to have your optimal amount of energy that you want, the type of energy you want to show up with.
I think also being aware of talking when we say be the energy you want to attract, being mindful of what that energy, what it's going to take to find those people too. It aligns with, I forgot what it was called, but when we were talking about how to find friends that have similar interests, if you want to be around more people that are more athletic, look into joining a run club, or and then you find other people that are already there in that same energy of what you're interested in and what you want to explore. I think that's the thing of it too, is that sometimes we forget, or we might feel stuck, or like we just don't think that we have options to explore. And I think more recently, I've been trying to remind myself that life is really meant to be lived like from the lens of a child, and like really exploring what life has to offer and all the things that we can learn about and experience and all that stuff. And I know me personally, I've been feeling like, okay, I want to meet more people that are doing more of the things that I'm interested in like pursuing or getting better at, or different stuff like that. I think it's cool that we have the ability to do that, and also that we're in a day and age where technology really allows that to be more accessible than it's ever been.
Agreed. I feel like we put limits on ourselves based on what we know versus having the courage to explore things. I know this is happening somewhere. It's just not around me right now. So how do I
Mm,
find that? I know it's available. Where? How?
yeah, I like it. I didn't even
Um,
see the questions to discuss. What activities, environments, or people raise your energy? That's a good one.
yeah. And then what the same question on what drains it. So finding those things that get you closer to feeling the energy you want to be. So if you have friends that you've had for a really long time, I had this where I would walk away just being like, I feel like shit. I feel like I got nothing new out of that conversation. All we did was talk about so and so. And I don't even feel right about what I said about them. Like I just went along with it. And I don't like that. I don't like that version of me. And I
Mm,
would feel like shit if that person found out that I was on that train with these people. I would never want to be confronted like, hey, I heard you said this. I think I didn't actually mean that. But you're in it. And taking those audits, it's been many years since that's happened because I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This doesn't
mhm,
feel good. I don't want to be like, if when you start recognizing that you are not special, and I mean this in the kindest, most I love you all way, but you're not special. So if you're in a circumstance where people are talking shit about other people, guess what? They're also going to talk shit about you at some point. You're at least
mhm,
on the plate. You're on the plate. If you're in a relationship with someone who's cheating with you on someone else, guess what? You are not special. You are up next, potentially. Like you're just, I think if we remove ourselves from that, this won't happen to me, or this doesn't affect me, or this tiny little piece of me being a jerk to this other person has no consequence. Like that, it does. And the same thing could happen to you.
That's bad energy you're putting out there.
Yeah.
So we have a question in the chat, Monica. How do you create those boundaries with longtime friends? I'm
I
curious
love
what
Natalie.
you think. I
I
know,
love
I
that
love
she's here.
seeing her.
Love seeing her. So what I did was I attempted to change the subject. I don't want to talk about that person. This feels icky. I don't want to do that. And then I would get ridiculed.
Hmm.
And I was like, all right, cool. Then I tried doing activities where we weren't just sitting around like yapping, and that didn't work because they just wanted to sit around wherever we were and talk shit. And I was like, all right, I'm no longer available for this. So I'm on a different journey, and I just stopped going to things. I stopped accepting invites. And what we don't realize is the things that we're holding on to are holding space that once we let go of them, allow for new things, more aligned things. There is a sense of guilt where you feel like you've outgrown these people and you get that who the fuck do I think I am feeling. Then you realize, but I have outgrown them and that sucks. But as soon as I let go of them, people who are on my level or maybe at a higher level are able to enter my life. Because when you hold on to the things that you've known that you're comfortable with, you're not allowing for new energy to come in. There's only so much space in your life. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much energy that you have. And so if you don't recognize that this person, these group of people are not getting you to somewhere different that you want to be, they're not helping you grow, they're not having the conversations that are going to help you elevate, then you're choosing to stay at their level.
Yeah, I think the
And I
most
don't.
important thing with especially when it's a longtime friend, being upfront about the boundaries that you have, because it's also not fair to assume that they recognize the changes that you're making in your life. So being able to like have that conversation of, hey, I know we've been like this for so long, but I'm really trying to be like this now. And I hope making sure that, hey, I want you to support me. I understand if you're not there yet. Obviously, there's different levels to different things, but I think people know if they're just not there yet. Like I've had a friend
mhm.
when I stopped drinking, it was a shock to him of, oh, so you don't do that anymore? And I'm like, no, I don't. And you can go your separate ways for a little bit, but then you come back too. I think like different people take their time to get to different places. And so
Yeah,
just creating that space of this is where I'm at now. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Door's always open type of thing. That's how I look at
For
it.
sure.
That is good. And it's not they're bad people at all. It's
No.
just life is taking us in, I think, a different direction. And they're actually like old coworker. We just stayed really close after we left. We all left this like same job. And yeah, and I heard something the other day, and someone was like, "Are you putting a silent boundary in place?" And my friend was like, "What's that?" And it's like, pretty much just do what you want to do. And it's not just so much of a hard stop, but what you said, Monica. For me, I think I just need to stop accepting invites because my time and energy is, I'm so like locked in. I'm like, I can't make a drive. I can't make accommodations for you and your family, just the group of people, but
Hmm.
everything is so good.
Boo, your energy is too valuable. Your time is too valuable. There are so many things that you could be doing that don't make you feel the way that these people are making you feel. And you might be shocked that there's someone else in the group that wants to do the same thing. Like they were just going along with it. And so for you to start just moving differently and inviting them to different things that invite them to things that might help them, invite them to the call, like whatever it is that might help them like self recognize what's happening,
Yeah.
because you also don't want to be like judgy, because
Yeah,
I
or
don't
just
feel like
invite them
that's,
into my world more,
Mm.
like,
tell them the books that
um,
you're reading, the podcasts
yeah.
that you're listening to, like spread the growth, and they
Mhm.
either take it and run with it or they're just like,
Mhm.
I kind of like
Or
where I'm at.
self-select out. There you
And you're
go.
like, I love that for you, live your best life, not
Mhm.
for me.
Sometimes you have to set those boundaries like with family as well. And it's
Big time,
that
big
shit
time.
is hard because and this kind of teeters on friendships too, but for me personally it's heavy with family relationships because it's like for me like my personal experience with this is my sister has always struggled with whether it's behavior issues or whatever, but I know that she is a smart person, but she does not make smart, intelligible decisions for her benefit. It's like she doesn't have her vision in front of her is like 4 inches. And the thing is sometimes she makes decisions that just go totally against her benefit. And recently, I bailed her out of a situation like with money. Like she wasn't in trouble with the law or anything, but she was in a financial bind. And I have done that on and off since I have gotten myself together financially. And it has gotten to the point where it's like I can't do it for her anymore. So I was like, look, I'm creating a boundary and I'm not going to let you starve right now because I do have the
Mhm.
resources. I'll do anything for you, but I'm not going to do everything for you. And I'm going to give you this money, but this is it for me because it's like I'm tapped out and I need to take care of myself and I'm trying to build my own life and you should be doing that too without telling you what to do, but it's this is what I'm doing. If you want to be a part of it, that's fine, but you're going to have to like front your own fare kind of thing.
Yeah, I
And
was going to ask you when you started talking about her, where you said she's continually doing this. I was like, so who's bailing her out? That was my first question.
yeah,
Because the only way that people, we've all made mistakes, we've all needed help and whatever. But if it's a continuous thing, then there's no reason for the person to up level because someone
right.
is always going to save them,
And it's always been my
period.
parents. It's always been my parents,
She
and
has
my
no
parents are
reason.
not in that position.
She has
Like,
no reason to get better.
and I'm like,
Why?
and my parents were, I'm not going to dive too much into it, but the context is my parents have always stepped in because they're like, oh, like she's trying to figure it out. She's trying to figure it out. It's like, she's about to be 30 and she's doing, I like what I told her was you keep asking yourself why these things happen to me. And it's if you keep playing stupid games, you're going to get stupid prizes. And that is literally what is happening. It's insanity at this point. It's a vicious cycle, but it's a vicious cycle if you choose to keep going on that ride.
Yeah. The real question is, why do I keep making these choices?
Exactly.
this isn't happening to you. You keep making these choices
Foolishness.
that keep getting you where you are. And somewhat like when you said she can only see so far in front of her, that's because as soon as she gets to here, someone saves her. So
Right.
there's no long game. There's no, okay, so I hit rock bottom and I have to dig my way back up and I have to like pay back all the people who helped me and I got to get myself back to where I know I want to be. Like there's none of that for her. She's never had to develop that muscle. And so she's a grown
And
adult and she
she's
can
feeling it.
not, yeah. She can't, we can't blame your parents or any of that, right? You have to recognize like she's living in the energy like victimhood. That's the energy she walks into life with. And that's the energy everyone, including yourself, keeps letting her live in. And so why leave? Why leave? Like there's no reason, there's no motivation for her to do anything differently because that energy that she's been in keeps working out, even though it's shitty that she recognizes and it only goes so far. Like it only
Exactly.
gets so shitty. So she's comfortable.
Excellent points.
Daniel was feeling what Lauren had to say. I saw those dance moves.
Daniel was getting sassy.
No, I was definitely feeling the sassiness because when Lauren was telling me, like, listen, you want to play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, I had to do that with a few buddies of mine, and I hated it. Don't get me wrong, I can be nice, definitely try to work things out with certain people, but it gets to the point to where, and I'm gonna speak bluntly here, if you test me, try my shit, in other words, and it happens multiple times, like once or twice, okay, but multiple times, that's where the dick in me is gonna come out. And I can't tell you how many times it's happened with multiple people, and I don't want to be that person. Happy, go lucky, energetic. Hey, yeah, let's go. A couple of shots here and there, and that's it. But my patience can only go on for so long.
Well, I feel like you have boundaries, but they might be set too far out. It's time to reel those boundaries a little closer so that you don't have to be a dick. You know what? We're not even gonna get 10 feet near that shit. We're here, and here is where we stop. Live your best life, not with me. Bye bye.
I feel like you've gone through that process though of cleaning those people out of your life. You're in a different environment now where you're surrounding yourself with people that like you have friends that you go to the gym with and friends that you're doing deals with and like people that are pushing you into better things versus people that are holding you back.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's definitely put me in a better position now since I'm prioritizing those kind of people that are on the same frequency as me when it comes to the gym, being a closer as well, also being in the real estate industry as a whole. But even then, there's like certain people that would DM me, and it's either, as much as I hate to say it, I'll ignore them because never met you in person before, you never introduced me to yourself, and I'm not gonna waste time. Or better yet, we have met before, and then immediately it's like they want to get straight to business without building that relationship first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I start setting my boundary towards unless we get to know each other a little bit. I don't even know if you like barbecue for crying out loud. And that's simple. Then it's nope, I'm not gonna go through this with you.
Good.
And it's gotten to the point to where it's exactly like you said, Monica. Like I set the boundary too far out. I was, as much as I told myself that I wasn't going to take shit from anybody, I was allowing certain people to give me shit. And I guess other people picked up on it at the time. So it was like, nope, not going to happen. If I'm not going to do it for this person, I'm definitely not going to do it for you. And the only people that will slide at this point, if I need to, would be my family. But even then, that's just family for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, mom were tight with each other, and also my siblings. So that's a different story. I wouldn't even put them in the same category as anybody else. But still, is if I let one person do it, the other person might notice they can get away with it, and then as I can't. I gave them too much of a leash, if you will.
Yeah, I feel I've 100% been there where in the effort to be nice, I wasn't kind to myself. And fuck that shit. Literally. I don't fucking care. I can't care more about you than I care about myself. I cannot. I will not. And when you start doing that, whoo, like they don't even try anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because I'm still going to be a kind, nice person. That's never going to go anywhere. That's who I am, like in my core. But I am 100% going to be kinder to myself than I'm ever going to be nicer to you. Because
right.
it ends up biting you in the ass. Like it never fucking works out. It ends up biting you in the ass and then you're mad. And you can't be mad at them. You can only be mad at you because you allowed it. because in the
Mhm.
effort of being nice and being the nice guy and being easygoing, because that's how you want to be perceived, you allowed these janky people who didn't deserve any of that energy to take advantage. And it's nope. This nice guy, good guy energy is only reserved for the people who deserve it.
Pretty much. As much as I hate to
Mhm.
say it, there's most of the people like I almost have to be ruthless with. Probably
Yeah.
an out there term, but I have to be ruthless.
And you can be
No.
ruthless and kind. With all respect, I will not be answering your DMs because I don't know you. So have a nice day.
I went through this 3 days ago. I'm at the gym right now. I'm actually nervous if I'm running into this person.
We can
But
tell. We assumed you weren't on a bicycle indoors for no reason.
it was someone who I was involved with years ago, and they ghosted me. And then it turned out they're an addict, and I I don't want that in my life right now. I wish the best for them and everything, but they have gone in and out of my life so many times that I'm jaded. And I blocked their number like maybe a year and a half ago. And they came up to me at the gym. They're like, "Hey, I reached out to you, and I think I sent you a few text messages, and then I saw you here, so I just felt compelled to come talk to you." It's just right on the spot. And I was just like, I know everything that's going on with you, and I wish the best for you, but I can't be in your life at any capacity right now. And if I don't have any ill intent towards you or anything, but I'm trying to take care of myself. And in order for me to take care of myself, we can't be friends like that. And he did not know what to say. And I was just like, look, like, this is not anything personal, really. But
That's literally all you had to say. That's a very
it's
kind
more
and
about,
honest response. I don't have the capacity for that right now.
he
I
was
wish you
just
the
like,
best.
I understand, and just walked away. And then I was just like floored that I had done that, because I try to let people down. I'm very direct with people for the most part. But with that relationship, it was like I was trying to handle it as delicately as possible. But in my head, I was like, I've done the delicate route, and I'm being firm, but as kind as I possibly can be. It was just like, look, like, wish the best for you, but this is not happening.
Protect your
Like,
energy.
I can't even
100%.
be your friend like this. But Sylvie.
It's hard. I'm not here to say it's easy. It is
Mhm.
so hard to
It's
just be,
uncomfortable.
it's so uncomfortable. Especially you want to be nice and you want to be liked. And it's okay to admit that. I desperately want to be liked and I want my intention to come across. But at the same time, you have to recognize that people are going to hear things through their own lens. So if whoever this person is wants to be a victim, then no matter what you say, it's going to come across that you are being unkind, that you are being judgmental, that whatever the fuck. And I can't carry that. I know how I said it and I know how I meant it. That's all I can do.
Exactly.
And when you start owning, like back to the energy subject, once you start owning your energy and you're like, I know how I walk through life. I know how I like my intentions being put out here. And however someone receives that, that's between them. That's a personal problem. I can't do anything about that. And so
Right.
taking your own, like, auditing yourself, and you
Yeah.
can look back at
I
that and be like, did I come across kind? Yeah, I did. Did I say
I
what I meant?
definitely, exactly. And I think that there's something to be said about, yeah, I really appreciate and respect people who are direct, who do it in a digestible manner. Don't come out the gate with fire and flames with me, because it's just like, that's going to rub everyone the wrong way. But
Course.
especially like in this situation, and I don't want to go into those details, but it was just like an off and on thing. And it was just like a roller coaster, up and down. We're friends, and then we're not friends, and then we're friends, and we're not friends. I'm like, we're not doing this. Best of luck, but this is not happening.
No. Like Jackie
Uh,
said, protect your energy. I owe you no explanation. You don't live my life. You aren't going to
Wish the
be
best for you. Go live your life over there.
yeah,
When you set boundaries, and you guys touched on this, when you set boundaries with people, one, it's not going to feel good from their perspective, no matter what.
Mhm.
facts.
Kindest thing that you can do, besides setting the boundary itself, is almost one, deliver it fairly emotionless, and two, blame it on yourself. Hey, I don't have the capacity for this. Whenever you do this, it makes me feel this way, and I don't like feeling that way. So I have to put an arm's length, nothing personal. And if you
Not you,
can,
it's me.
exactly,
Yeah.
obviously they're not going to feel like that no matter what,
Mhm.
but you did your part. And another thing, circling back on when you were talking about the audit, Monica, I'm looking at the thing right now. Where did it go? Oh, what activities, environments, or people drain your energy? That
Mhm.
question. When you feel drained, fundamentally, it's a misalignment of purpose, character, values. A lot of people disregard their emotions and their intuition when it comes to how they feel in certain situations. And I think emotion can cloud intuition, but the intuition will still be there. So paying attention to how you feel, like, hey, I was around this person and I didn't like the way that they talked about X or the way that they handled Y. That's not really what I want to be around. And if you can take it from the lens of the top 5 people you're surrounded with, or the top 5 thoughts that you think in your head the most often, because that's what's going to constitute the majority of your patterns. Staying away from drains and seeing them as misalignments can be useful, not only to preserve your own energy, but to point yourself in the direction of positive energy, of feeling full of energy and loving life. So yeah, hopefully that made sense.
It did.
That was
I
perfectly
agree.
said.
Thanks.
I agree. I think it's so funny.
I'm
I was
sitting
just,
here bobbing my head
yeah,
to all of that.
I was talking to somebody about how they were like, man, I'm always like so exhausted at 3 o'clock, just sitting at my desk, like staring at the clock, waiting for the day to be done. And I remembered vividly having that same feeling of that 3 o'clock, feeling like you're just want to crawl out of your skin. And I was like, I don't feel that anymore. I literally will work from the time I wake up to the till like midnight on my businesses and feel fantastic. And it's like you don't have that same like shitty draining energy because you're not misaligned. Like you're growing your own thing and you feel energized by it. No lie, from 10 a.m. until midnight, I can be working straight and not think twice about it. Like I have to stop myself to eat lunch. Meanwhile, we're counting down the seconds till 5 o'clock to get the fuck out of work. And it's
Uh,
like when you no longer feel that misalignment, that drain from your whatever position you're in, whether it's being at dinner with your family that you don't really want to be at dinner with, or whether it's on a phone call with someone you don't want to be on the phone with, or whatever. Once you start feeling that, you can be like, huh, like Ray said, this isn't in alignment. Like this doesn't create that flow of energy that you know that you're in the right place.
Well
For sure.
said.
And with the, let's say the example with the family, even if it may not feel like you're having a good time or it may feel like you're out of alignment, it when you're out of alignment, it's an opportunity to create alignment. So you can, with the family example, you can make the conscious choice to say, hey, right now I'm not really feeling it, but I'm going to make the choice to enjoy this moment with my family, to connect with them better than on a better level than I did when I showed up here.
Because it is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times your own energy, like the expectations that you put on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you go into it, be like, okay, I know that so and so can be difficult, or so and so is probably going to talk about this thing. And I was telling Lauren, like last week when he was dealing with the networking event or whatever, and the person wanted to yap about anti Airbnb. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm here to network, and I know that
Right.
there's plenty of people in here who are going to have differing opinions than me. And my purpose, my intention is to get networks going, to make connections, and I know that they're coming from a good place, and so I'm just gonna smile and nod. And it's the same thing like with the family. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure if you set the expectation of I'm gonna come in here with a good energy, I'm happy to connect with my family, I love them, and I also know that things aren't like this isn't we're not gonna see eye to eye in a lot of stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Setting that like energy of how you walk in. Because if you
100%.
walk in that shitty, ugh, I gotta listen to blah blah blah,
I
then
gotta go
that's
hang
how
out with
you
my mom or some BS like that. And it's all choice of perspective.
totally.
And my mom, I got some time. I get to spend time with her. shift of perspective, or it's damn, my sister's crazy. So I'm gonna spend time with my sister. I wonder what's going on in her life right now.
And I think a lot of times this is something I've been working on a lot lately, and it's wanting something different than what reality is. Like wishing you could change this person, wishing you could change your sister, wishing you could change your mom, wishing you could change your dad, instead of just brutal acceptance. This is who they are, and this is how I am going to show up in their presence exactly the way that they are. And you just start appreciating people for the things that they bring to the table, even if it's insanity, even if it's despicable. You're just like, oh, there they go again. Like, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Especially if they're like people you value for things outside of what they bring to the table, like family. Usually is the only exception. But you're just like, oh, here they go talking about that thing again. Aren't they hilarious? And if you just have that energy, you lighten the mood and things just become more pleasant because like you create that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
With something like that, especially if it's family, you could egg on. If you know that
Oh, I know.
if you egg them on, it's like you're having fun with their perceived flaws
There's
from
my
your
sister.
perspective.
It's like there's my sister
Absolutely.
back on her bullshit.
I know Lauren fucks with his sister
All the time, man.
and his mom.
She with my mom, it goes over her head, which makes it a
That's
little
even
bit
better.
More
comical.
funny. That's even
But with,
funnier.
but with my sister, I feel like when I was younger, she was like really quick, and I feel like I got an edge on her. I got an edge on her. She's literally like, I can see my sister's back on her bullshit again. Oh my god, the Thanksgiving roasts are hilarious. But yeah, it's everything that you're saying. I'm just like, damn, it's crazy. I'm like
Mhm.
smiling because I'm like, this is something is I'm tuned into something and it's hitting me right now. And I'm
Love
hyped
that.
up on pre-workout. So
Totally. I'm sure
That's
that we'll take
drugs.
it.
Monica, so you had touched on it a little bit, but in different words. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the reticular activation system. For those that aren't, your brain is a deletion machine. There's a lot of information that comes into your brain through your senses that you don't realize you don't pay attention to. For example, feel the clothes that you're wearing right now. You weren't feeling them 2 seconds ago.
Your
And if I,
nose.
yeah, looking at your nose.
Like it's you literally can see it. You just don't.
If
When I
I
heard
tell you,
that, I was like,
yeah, if I tell you to look around the room, notice everything in front of you that's red, and then I tell you to close your eyes and ask you what is blue in the room, you're gonna be like, I have no idea, because I wasn't paying attention to it. So the reticular activation system is your brain's priming device. It's, for example, if I'm primed to hate broccoli as a kid and I eat broccoli, the flavor is not good. Or if hey, this person is a bad person, you should stay away from them. And they come into the room, you're going to be hiding behind your mom. You know what I mean? So
I had someone tell me that water tasted bad. And I was like, what?
what are you talking about?
they're
They're
tweaking.
like, that's because their whole life, all they drank was soda. Their parents never made them drink water. And so when they would drink water, they're like, it tastes bad. And I was like city water? And they're like, no, like the most expensive bottled water tastes terrible. And I was like, okay.
About.
So, like Ray is saying, literally been programmed to think that water tastes bad, and that sucks
Yeah.
because it's life. But go ahead.
Daniel, water's pretty good when you're zooted to the max, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Here's the thing. I don't get me wrong. If somebody's zooted, and I'm not saying this from experience, but if someone was, you'll probably think that they'll take some water, maybe some like sweet tea, especially since we're here in Florida,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're saying no to water. Oh no, you got me messed up,
Yeah,
homeboy.
they're tweaking.
I
Water is
want that Fiji water,
delicious.
like 2 liters if possible.
The
Play that song
square
in the
bottle
background too.
makes
Be
it
like
feel
Fiji
extra.
water all over my body.
Oh shit.
You bathe in Fiji water?
Hey, if that one guy can do it with Saratoga water, why not?
I love it. I
Mm.
love it for you.
So long story short, the reticular activation system, to finish my point, primes your brain for whatever you prime it with. So if you're not excited to hang out with your family on Thanksgiving, you're not going to have a good time on Thanksgiving unless that pattern is broken somehow. How it's useful to us, I see, and I don't know if you wanted to go into that, but under the third section, shifting your energy intentionally, morning rituals and gratitude practice. If you can start the day feeling grateful for something, you can end the day. Or if one thing that I used to do, which I probably should do again, is I would always end the day with gratitude. And I would search for things in my day, whatever happened during the day. Oh, this happened. Oh, this lady was nice. She smiled at me. It could be something as small as that. And it made me feel grateful for anything. And if you have a low bar for things to be grateful for, you're gonna feel great. And Tony Robbins says, if you're feeling grateful, you can't feel anything else.
So
So,
true.
but yeah, you can prime your day like that. Even if, let's say, you're going to a networking event and you're not excited to be there, you can be like, hey, I have a certain intention for this event. Even if I don't meet that intention, I'm gonna try and see what I can do, and I'm gonna get something out of this. I know that I can get something out of this, even if it's joking with this person about that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or even allowing yourself to be curious. Ooh, I wonder what kind of crazy ass person's gonna walk up to me today. Like just allowing it to be a heightened energy
Mhm.
versus the down energy. All of that makes such a difference. And yeah, I definitely jacked up the name. I definitely did not say reticular activating system. I don't know what I even said,
No, but you said
but
you pretty much said what I said,
I
just
don't
in
know what
different
I
words.
called
I
it.
don't remember,
Yeah.
but I know
Yeah.
We
you said
were
something.
we were picking
Cognitive
up what you were
bias.
laying down.
Cool, cool, good.
Yeah.
That's all
No,
that
cognitive,
matters.
it is a cognitive bias.
It's not the same. I feel you.
There's overlap.
I think so. Venn diagram.
Yeah.
This has been a good call.
Yeah, I like it when Ray chimes in.
Me too.
He's got those fancy words.
He's got
Drop
that
it.
flavor.
Exactly. A little salt sprinkle.
My man's has that vocabulary.
Appreciate
Exactly.
y'all.
But yeah, I think just to touch on the shifting your energy intentionally, you talked about the morning rituals. We also have gratitude practices, movement, intentional breaks, and positive input. I know for me, I really like music. And there was a time period where I stopped listening to music because the music I was listening to didn't have the best words. And then I think it was maybe towards the end of 2023, I got introduced to an artist with positive music. I think, Londrell, Monica, and
Love Landrell.
that kind of spiraled into me looking into more artists that had positive music. And I've actually curated a playlist that's like intentional music that I'll listen to that like the words that are in those songs are good songs for me to listen to versus the songs I was listening to prior. So it's been cool to be able to bring more music back into my life because I really was like not listening to anything for a while. But I think podcasts too, or even just affirmations, like Ray was saying, whether it's morning or night, I think just taking a couple of seconds in your day to really set some intentions of this is what I want to accomplish, or this is what I want to feel, or this is what I'm working towards. It's important to do at night too, because you're setting yourself up. I know you know that word, Monica, like for the dream state,
Totally.
when you're setting yourself up for being able to visualize because I think that's something that we neglect too, is it's so easy to be like, oh, let me just watch something on TV before I go to bed. But is that really helping you in your dream state? Like, I think taking that extra second to have that intentional moment of this is what I want to dream about or manifest or think about while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, it's giving your subconscious a job. This is what I want to think about. And even if it is just gratitude, just being grateful for the silly little things that seem that low bar of I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy my body worked today. I'm happy I had food to eat. I'm happy I got to choose what I did with my hours or whatever. Literally, we're so blessed and we take a lot for granted that until sometimes you got to get slapped to remember. And hopefully we just start remembering before that so that we can just be more appreciative for every little thing. Like literally, I got to the point where if I pull into a parking spot quickly, I'm just like, oh, I am so grateful for this spot. I didn't have to do more than one lap. Like, how lucky am I? Just stupid little things like that, where it's just, or you could be miserable and loop in the parking lot and trying to find like that frustration I didn't have to deal with. And so having those little wins, now you have a little more pep in your step and you're creating the energy that you want. Like everything funnels from that.
Yeah, I like the closing exercise and the takeaway challenge. So, closing exercise, imagine it's 1 month from now. You've consistently shown up as the energy you want to attract. What does your life look like? And then the takeaway challenge this week before entering any room, starting any project, or posting on social media, pause and ask yourself, what energy am I bringing into this space? But yeah,
Love that one.
being conscious of the energy that you're bringing is, I think you guys take anything away from that and try and implement that, you'll start to see things that you might have thought were going to go a certain way actually went the way that you set the intention for.
Agreed.
Cool.
Go ahead and close your eyes. Get comfortable. Sit up straight. Feeling energy moving through your body. We're going to take a few deep breaths to center ourselves, filling our body with fresh air, fresh energy. Clearing out space. As you exhale, releasing any energy that isn't in alignment with the energy you want, with who you are wanting to be. One more deep inhale. And exhale. And as we continue to breathe, I want you to think about that statement, the energy you want to be, the person that you want to be. Imagine what that looks like. What does your face look like? How does your heart feel? Is it open and warm? Does your body feel at peace? Light? How does your body move? Picture yourself walking into a room. Do you move with comfortable confidence? Smooth movements? Do you have a smile on your face? Are people drawn to you? What does that energy feel like? There a little bit of excitement, ease. What does it feel like to feel your best self, your most magnetic self? You could bottle up this feeling, put it in a jar or a bottle, put a label on it that says my best self. Imagine if you could wake up every day and just take a sip and instantly that energy takes over your body. You hop out of bed feeling confident, grateful. Everything is working out for you. Even the small hiccups or inconveniences roll off your back. You no longer complain about anything. Because nothing feels that significant. It's all good. You meet everyone as they are. No judgment, no irritation, just curiosity. How interesting. You smile at everyone you meet, and they smile back at you. Your energy is infectious, contagious. It radiates out further than you can imagine. People love being around you. I invite you to hold on to that visual. Hold on to that visualization. And every morning, imagine yourself taking a sip of this energy, whether it's the water, first sip in the morning. Imagine that you are your best self and that all day you're going to show up as your best self. Maybe turn it into a game. As soon as you start feeling your energy shift or sway, take a sip, realign, let's take 3 deep breaths, locking in this feeling, locking in this cool, calm, collected confidence. This supreme ownership of who you are and how you show up. One last deep breath. I want to thank you for coming tonight to join us, share your energy. We appreciate you all so much. The light in me sees and recognizes the light in each of you. Namaste. Feel free to stretch, crack your neck, wiggle your fingers and toes, and slowly open your eyes.
Awesome. Thank you, Monica. That was good. Oh, shoot. Look,
Bye-bye.
Daniel. So funny. You look like a new man.
I could honestly go for another nap.
Let's go.
Because he trimmed his beard.
Oh, yeah.
That is
That's
true.
what
You feeling
Beard,
lighter?
beard game, recognize beard game. And yes, much lighter.
You do.
it's funny. Yeah, thank you guys for a great call. I really appreciate everybody. It was a good interactive one. And yeah, you guys
Agreed.
finished out the week strong. We'll see you guys next week.
In May.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Uh-huh. All right, guys, we'll talk later.
Toodles.
Later.
Bye.